One of them, and I suspect a white guy, said, isn't that typical of them? Isn't that what they do? They kill each other. So the thing is that this is the same mindset that, when I hear people say, "Oh, we're gonna go to the United States, you're gonna go to to all these people," they know what is going on. Everybody knows what is going on in Nigeria. But as far as they are concerned, man, look, what is a few of you going to do? I mean, what is a few less of you going to, do to the world? Now, my decision is that if we are going to solve our own problem, we better sit up and devise our own solution. Some people say, well, we don't want war. Nobody wants war. However, like Oladiran said in the last listing, when somebody was saying, we don't want bloodshed, he said, and I remember him saying so, he said that those who said they don't want bloodshed do not really realize that there are bloodshed all over in my area, and that is the Ijaw area and all that. There is bloodshed already. I mean, if there is no day you get messages from Nigeria, somebody is not being macheted or being gunned down or being... So there is bloodshed already. And if you now continue to play the ostrich game that say, well, we don't want to do this because it's going to do that, the alternative is to fold your arm and take whatever is being dished out to you. And I don't think that would be acceptable either to us or the next generation. And that's what I want to pause and see if there's anything anybody wants to add. Or you want me to keep going?
Well, we know that, so I think you've done an awesome job in kind of giving us a broad stroke.
Oh, okay.
As to what is going on in the world today, sir. You being a veteran journalist, I know that you've seen a whole lot in your lifetime. And I know that you've lived across continents. And I just want to ask you one question, sir, and that is that, don't you think that it is quite interesting now that all of the world's questions, all the fundamental problems that we have in humanity, in the world today, are coming into the forefront? It's like there's a phrase now in social consciousness, which is called the woke syndrome, that people are waking up. People are questioning religions. People are questioning race relations. People are questioning social disparities. What do you think? Is it because we have a whole lot of exposure now in terms of media, or is it because there's just this age of Aquarian that people are just knowing? What do you think, sir?
No, well, like Professor Joyika said something. I mean, casually when she was talking, she, alluded to the fact that the camera was instrumental in recording and showing the world. For instance, let's say George Floyd could have died, unmanned by even us. because whoever controls the story actually controls the whatever decision is made after that. If the
Absolutely.
camera was not there and
Yes.
nobody had the presence of mind to record it, the police will have come out that, oh, he was found, he struggled with the police,
Mhm.
and the police tried to restrain him, and because of the drug in his system,
Mhm.
you hear that story, well calibrated story. There is no way you're gonna. I mean, you're gonna say, "Well, he's a drug dealer," and the
Mhm.
same thing. The same thing. Look, somebody. I think it was Shola, or I don't know who did. Somebody sent me the limb of a man that was macheted, just
Mhm.
fresh wounds.
Hello, sir.
I
Mhm.
couldn't
I
look
sent
at it more than a little glance,
Mm.
and this is happening. And you see
Mhm.
cops all over the
you want
place.
me to use the 902
It's
number?
different. It is different. There is no way I could have described that scene to you
Okay, okay.
without seeing,
Text it to that one.
such in graphic forms. And
Right.
so it's not the world didn't know before.
Mhm.
We didn't know. You just hear so many things have been happening that the world was not aware of. Not that you hear those stories, you say, oh, who knows what he's been doing? He probably was drunk and misbehaved. But
Right.
now, when you have it, this addition, the putting the camera with the phone, because nobody goes anywhere without the phone, and
So so
once you
that
take
so that so that is the game changer you're saying.
that
The
is a game
camera
changer.
on the phone.
It's not like the world all of a sudden had a prick of their conscience. That is not. But now you have better stories coming out.
Yes.
You have the story of oppression. No matter what, your story, the story of the oppressor, is counterbalanced by
Right.
that of the oppressed. If we were able to have, if we were able to have cameras in slave ships, slavery could not have gone for that long,
Absolutely.
especially when you pack them like sardine and you throw about 100 on board before you get to the shore because they are dead. But somebody
Mhm.
would have said, but these are humanities.
Yes.
But 200, 300, 400 years later, we have what we didn't have then. And now we not only have some black or colored people saying so, you have white people saying, wait a minute, they shouldn't have been doing that to them.
Mm.
And that is where we are. It's not like all of a sudden we just, have a prick of conscience. No. But a better story, he's making it known to everybody that we got to do something about this. And
Right.
of course, this is an important point. When George Floyd riot was going on here, there was one element that really I loved. I'm a peace loving person. However, during the riot, ensuing riots all over the cities, some, you know, the people of the other race gathered and said they have their gun and we are ready to start a race war. Then the black people went to the same area with their own guns strapped up, and everybody piped down. But there was a young girl, she couldn't be more than 20, 25, had a placard. She's wrote on that placard, we are not as compliant as our forefathers. In which case, we will get back to you the same thing you
With
give us.
with equal measure.
Equal measure. And everybody got the message. Look, if you come at me, I mean, let me say, you become much more hungry for a fight when you see somebody you can beat. If you are coming to somebody of equal strength, you will be more, you will be more, you will be more careful.
Yes,
You know, you won't be so hungry to go and fight.
absolutely.
And that is the same thing. Those who are appeasing the enemy better get to know this, that the more appeasement you give an enemy that is determined to dominate you, the more they are likely to oppress and destroy you.
Yes.
And that way, I think I've answered your question.
I think you've done an excellent job.
Hello, I sent it. Hello.
Okay, so my question now.
Okay, so you can come in anytime. Now we are waiting for you.
Okay, we have Asari Dokubo lined up, man. Do we have him?
He's trying to get in, you know, the thing with
yeah, we can continue on to his
yeah, but I was Adeyinka, I know you are not aware of the fact that Baba Adeboye is here. So
is he present? Good.
Yeah, Baba Adeboye said you can invite him to talk on. As we are going on, when Asari Dokubo come in, we will pause on this and, you know, get his interview done. Then we will go back to this and the issue of the tribute for
Yinka Odumake.
Yinka Odumake, thank you. Baba Adeboye, I think you have the floor, right, Yinka?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, Dr. Adeboye, I welcome you, sir. We were waiting for you to come on when we started.
Okay,
but it's always a delight to have you.
Yeah, we speak in English today because of Asari Dokubo.
And I'm happy you're well.
Wait a minute. Oh, I can only manage Yoruba.
I'm also
it's managing. Baba.
Anyway.
I'm also managing my Oyo Yoruba too. Sir, we were talking about the George Floyd incident, the trial that is ongoing, the question that been with the injustice, the disequilibrium in the American justice system, the inequality in terms of the way the black people are dealt with in America, and Mr. Banjo Ayiloge has helped us to have a clarification. Dr. Ajayi Chunika has also helped us to have some kind of broad understanding of that. I'd like to know your take on what is going on in the world. And also, we're looking at it that why is it that now a lot of things that have been bothering mankind are coming out in the open? It's like everything is being exposed simultaneously. What do you think is happening, sir?
Thank you very much. I salute everybody, the Olootu, the Atokun, and the presence of Professor Ajayi Shoyinka, or maybe I should have said Shoyinka Ajayi, and the contributions that they have made to this discussion. I've been listening to. They said practically everything that I would have said. So I'm just going to do a different take and go a little beyond 500 years. The establishment of racialism on our planet is not unrelated to humans moving away from arboreal apes to settlement. The economy of what to eat, where to get shelter and everything became dominant, and the man with the quote unquote gun became the majority. There wasn't any democracy in terms of sharing or distribution of resources. It was greed. But fortunately, in the pure animal kingdom, once they were fed, they went to sleep. If you see a tiger fed, then that tiger is going to go to sleep until it's hungry again. There was no amassing of wealth or anything like that until agriculture or housing or whatever evolved into human society. After it evolved, then there is this problem of who should have the larger share and this and that. And by the time that the world became smaller, no longer the huge globe that was difficult to traverse, but a world in which communication became easier. The Arabs were able to move into, well, first of all, the children of Abraham, if the Bible story is true, were able to move from Ur to all the way to Palestine, nomadic as human beings tended to be at that time, but roughing house with people who are settled. That has been the history of the world, no matter where you are. And the choice of who to keep and who to favor has been essentially based upon who looks more like me. I am the standard human. Whoever you are the standard human, and those who look like you are to be preserved. Those who don't look like you, they are to be distanced from, even though you have the same quote and unquote humanity or biological composition or what have you. The nature of humans has been to aggregate around the people who look like them, share their culture, blah, 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 etc., etc. All I'm saying is explanation, not justification by any means. And I don't want to be, but when you go out to the age of about 800, when Islamic evangelism invaded the world, you will see that by that time, in parallel, if not in series, people were being taken from Africa as slaves to Arabia and beyond. The port of Basra in what is today's Iraq is essentially like Jamestown in the United States. That's where, if you go there today, you will see tons of us. And if you go further to Sri Lanka, or what used to be called Ceylon and what have you, you will see people who are of Ethiopic origin. So when you look at that picture, it began to happen. Even when you look at the Dravidians in India, you will see that the people who came from over the Himalayas essentially oppressed the Dravidians and marginalized them because they don't look like the people who came from over here, and so on and so forth. Then you go to Europe and you discover that when the Arab evangelism expanded its force to Morocco and moved people that are called Moors into southern Spain and dominated Spain for about 700 years until King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella pushed them out, that we were the slaves of the Arabs.
Right.
700 years that Arabs governed southern Europe. And so when all that was going to be over, Europeans had learned about our existence. But now they can ask their former masters, where did you get this from? And that's why the age of expansion, the European empire expansion, discovery, expansion, and empire started with Vasco da Gama and all of those people. And then it came to us. Meanwhile, people among us who look like them, that is, don't look like me, pure Negro, look like them either because of mixing or this or that, like the Fulani and the Tuaregs and the what's the name of the people in East Africa? They tended to favor people who look like you more than people who look different.
Would look different.
And so when you look all across North Africa, the Sahel region, all the way from Dakar to Dar es Salaam to Djibouti, you will see that there is a tendency, no matter how few these people are, there is a tendency to favor them in your colonization or imperialism process. If you want to carry it far, you continue to this hemisphere and you go to the Indians of North America. They have been they have disfarahaned. And of North and South America, the Caribs, the more you differ in appearance and culture from the conqueror, the more you are likely to be oppressed. You go to Australia and New Zealand, the Maoris are gone, the Australian Aborigines are gone, and all that stuff. That is a global trend. Now let's make it to the question that you asked me, and I hope I don't take too much time.
Thank you, Baba Deboye. I'm going to let you finish that sentence, but because of network issue, I'm going to bring our guest today. I'm going to bring him on board, but I'm going to let you finish with that sentence.
Well, good. So I finished with the sentence by saying, I want us all to look at the history of the world and see that what is happening to George Floyd, what has been happening to George Floyd for the past 500 years, what has been happening to Africans for the past 500 years, are all variations of the same theme. And if you know about George Floyd, there are tons of George Floyd that we have never known about. And there are George Floyds that are happening as we are talking. And if I ever get back to this, I will do it.
Thank you. Adeyinka.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, our guest is here.
Oh, fantastic. We're so happy to have Comrade Asari Dokubo with us today. We've been expecting, I know that there are so many people who are keyed into us today, just trying to have to listen to the mind of the great activist. So I'd like to start with introducing Comrade Asari Dokubo, who is a man that has very little introduction. He's well known in Nigeria. He's well known, as a matter of fact, internationally. And just a brief bio of Comrade Asari Dokubo. He was born in 1964.
Oh.
And he's of Ijaw extraction. That's his ethnic group, and he's from the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. He's very passionate about his region. And I think that he's going to be able to tell us today about why he's so passionate about the preservation of his people, the Ijaw people. Asari Dokubo founded the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force. They made so much waves that they were invited by the federal government to have a negotiation with them. That was how impactful his organization was. Asari Dokubo was born into a Christian middle class family. His father being a judge of the High Court in Nigeria. His early education is in Port Harcourt, although it's very cosmopolitan in nature. His interactions with various sections of Nigeria and Nigerians. Today he's going to give us his opinion, where he's at in his philosophy, and where we're at now in Nigeria, whereby a lot of groups are asking for self-determination. It looks like a lot of sections of the country are now catching on to what he had been advocating since the 1990s. Comrade Dokubo converted to Islam from Christianity, and he also is of Beninese citizenship. He acquired that not too long ago. He has built schools in the Republic of Benin, where he resides partly. He's a man of great impact, and we welcome him to our midst today.
Yeah, I saw him, and I'm sure that you all saw him. I'm not sure whether the network fade off, and I can't see him. Okay, he's here. Yes. Okay. 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 Alaji, you are here. You are on. Okay. You are welcome to. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, good evening. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. We are very, very happy to welcome you to Yoruba Gbode. Yoruba Gbode is a program that comes on every Sunday. Sometimes we do English, sometimes we do Yoruba. I am really very grateful that you are able to make it, because I know from the morning you've been going from one meeting to the other according to the information that I gather. But I'm very, very happy to welcome you to Yoruba Bode. I'm not going to beat about the bush because people are here. Our people are on YouTube, they are on Zoom, and they are also on Yoruba Bode Radio at the area where they can reach us. So we go straight to the point. So those of you on YouTube, please continue to share so we can enjoy our special guest today. I'm going to start with the issue of citizenship. So now, are you a Nigerian citizen or are you a citizen of the Republic of Benin? Do you want to enlighten us on that?
Technically, I had never been a Nigerian citizen. I've never chosen Nigeria as my country, never sought my consent as to whether I want to be a Nigerian or not. I am not also a citizen of Benin Republic. I never applied for it, even though I lived in Benin for about 10 years. I am a citizen of Biafra. I am a Biafra. That's what I am.
Okay, thank you. We are going to go back to that later. Now, with your history, we know that you are from middle class, you know, with parents who are educated, who are Christians. How did you, what put you into this freedom fighting? Why do you prefer to like be in the forest to fight for, instead of, you know, using all the luxury that you have with your parents? Why do you choose this path?
Yeah, yes, I had always told people that I chose poverty for myself. I never knew poverty. While growing up, I had everything that a child I would have had, that had all my mates. I attended the best primary schools. I attended the best secondary schools. My siblings attended the same secondary school. So among my siblings, you have professors, you have lawyers, you have elected government officials, and etc., etc. Now, anybody who had seen Nigeria know that in Nigeria, my people are only appendages. We are not citizens of Nigeria. We are only called Nigerians when it is convenient for those who are Nigerian to call us Nigerians. The Nigerian state confiscated our God-given resources, even when these our God-given resources cause great harm to us. Our environment is totally devastated. And if you visit Nigeria, I stayed in Benin. I lived at Cotonou. I stayed at Lebele. I have the best houses in the Republic of Benin today. I have 5 buildings that will come out before they count 20 houses. My 5 buildings will stand out as among the 20 houses, among the best houses in Benin Republic. These houses are right at the Atlantic coast. But in my own area where I come from, the Atlantic coast is totally undeveloped. Nothing has touched it. Well, the only thing that touched it is all oil production that had caused so much harm in destroying the ecosystem of this our environment. And where does the oil build? The oil builds Abuja, it builds Lagos. And the people don't care. It's even worse. The workers are taken to Lagos. They are flown by helicopters to the oil terminals, to the oil rigs where production is done, 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. Employments are done in Lagos, while people are not employed. My younger brothers, their father was a retired High Court judge. I have 2 younger brothers, engineers, petrochemical and mechanical engineers. They are doing other chores. They cannot get employment in oil companies. But their mates who graduated with them, who did the National Youth Service with them, are working in this oil company. So what is the standard that is used? I'm widely traveled. I've traveled to more than 70 countries, even the most undemocratic countries. The little economy I read said, nearest to raw materials. When you want to cite an industry, you cite an industry nearest to raw materials. You cite an industry where it will be cheaper to get labor. Where it will be cheaper to get labor. So if in Port Harcourt it's cheaper to get labor, you don't pay some packages that you give to people from outside, from expatriates and so on. But this is not done. Everything in Nigeria, this so-called contraption, this Nigeria is upside down. So for me, that's why I chose, not because I'm a poor man, not because I have no access to wealth, I have no access to steal like others would have stolen. But what we see is that even if I have access to steal, I will still be subservient, I will still be begging, I will still be bootlicking before I get. No, I cannot condescend to that level and reduce myself to that inhuman position because I want to be a Nigerian. Nigeria does not want me, and I don't want Nigeria. That is the truth of the matter, and that's what propelled me to join first Committee of Collective Conscience, which was a communist organization in our area of young people, Marxist-Leninist organization. From Committee of Collective Conscience, I joined the movement for the survival of Ijaw ethnic nationality in the Niger Delta, Mosian. From Mosian, I became Vice President of the Ijaw Youth Council, Deputy President and President. And from there, I felt that one gunshot is more compelling, it's more worthier than 1,000 years of sermonization. What Nigeria wants is that everybody should be in the grave. We should be a graveyard, nobody talks. Everybody should do to them sanu sanu. I am not ready to do sanu sanu to anybody. I am of right. By my name and by my birth, I am an Amakri. My fathers had been trading and having access to the whole world long before these people came from Futajelon to capture the Hausa people, the Nupe people, and others in 1808. My fathers had been there a long time ago. Let us go and read our history. So if I have such rich history, I should now choose to be a slave to other people who are not better than me. So that is what compelled me to join the struggle to free myself first, free the members of my family, and free my people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We know that you venture, I heard that you venture into politics one time. If that is true, what was your intention? What were you looking for and why did it fail?
I can't get you very well. What was the question?
Okay, you tried some political career to have a political position. You tried to get involved with politics. Was that true?
Yes, I was a member of UPN during the Second Republic. I became a member of AD. I became a member of NSM, which was an Ijaw party. After that, I joined AD. And AD, I joined AC. AC, I joined ACN. When Buhari came, when they wanted to merge, I told them that I cannot be in the party with those I know that will not work for the interest of my people. So I left ACN. They went to form this. Since then, I've not been in any party, but I joined in making, in the formation of YPP, Young Progressive Party. So for me, politics, as long as we have the 1979 Constitution, as long as we have the 1999 Constitution that ushered in this government, there will be no progress. This constitution was imposed on the people. If this constitution is not removed, there is no sovereign national conference. That's to bring the people together to say whether of choice what we want to be. That is the only solution. The constitution is a lie. The constitution is a dubious document that says we the people. Where did we the people meet to make that constitution for ourselves? A constitution that Abdul Salam Abubakar and his cohorts met and put together. They now impose it on us by military fears that we did. I cannot be in any political party because that political party will be regulated by a dubious and a false document which has no basis under any democratic environment. That constitution is what is leading Nigeria, and that constitution is the problem of Nigeria now. All other constitutions are doing. 1979 constitution was the same problem. All the constitution they have made was the same, were the same problem. But this particular constitution is what we're talking about. This constitution does not represent me because I never participated in the making of this constitution.
You've been talking about freedom, which means each side of Nigeria should be their own country. You've been on this for a long time. Recently, the minister Lai Mohammed was quoted as saying, "Oh, it's a joke. They just make noise for some time and they keep quiet." What is your reaction to what he said around that time? And also, how do you think this freedom is going to be? How do you think we are going to have this freedom? How are we going to get it? Is it by peace or by otherwise?
I will not waste my time with a character like Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed is a liar from the pit of hell. He has no, Lai Mohammed is a disgrace to himself and his family, not to talk about. So I won't join issues with that fellow. When Goodluck Jonathan was there, this liar, Lai Mohammed, it's unfortunate that he added Mohammed to his name. And spoiling the name of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This man said that Goodluck gave me 10 billion to go and buy arms to fight Boko Haram. Today, Boko Haram is killing them. Boko Haram is killing them. Even now, they just shot down a Nigerian plane. This liar up to today has not proven to the whole world that I was connected with any harm deal under Goodluck Jonathan. But be that as it may, let me come to this. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. In most cases, it is the oppressor. It's the oppressor that instigates engagement with those who want to go. And in Nigeria, the situation, the issue is right before all of us. It's not about Dokubo Asari. In all the forests, in Yoruba forests, these people have entered all the forests. They said they own everywhere. They said they must pass. They have a cattle route. They said they have where cattle will drink water.